So I say most people believe there is something dramatically wrong in this country. They're not sure what it is.
Got your labor next your soul, interest slave in endless hole. It's so deep you'll never leave, a text on key with no reprieve. Interest banking, future sold, paper money, fuck the gold. Print more money, there's no end, new interest rates thanks to the Fed. Inflation's up, we can't afford to import, source an endless hoard. Funding all this endless war, these the whores I must ignore. Feeling good, yeah that's my price. The system lets me have my vice. Bread and circus feels nice, feeling bad, take this advice. Just take this pill, watch TV, smoke weed and chill. Football parties, man the grill. Watch some porn, drain your vril. Endless pleasure, wait until the lights go out, the lights are out. Holy fuck, the lights went out. The lights go out, the lights are out. Holy fuck, the lights went out. Never thought that this would happen. Should've prepped instead of fapping. Tires screeching, people scream. Living nightmare, not a dream. There goes all my dopamine, wiping off my jerk-off cream. I'm flabby, weak and unprepared to own a gun, I'm really scared. Water filters, batteries, cans of food and MREs. I really should've bought that shit before the social fabric ripped. Atomized, I'm all alone, no internet, can't scroll my phone. The lights go out, the lights are out. The lights go out. Came on, I can't believe, breathe a sigh of great relief. Boy, I love modernity, endless goon sesh never leave. If you're sad, just take this pill. Watch TV, smoke weed and chill. Football parties, man the grill. Watch some porn, join your grill. Endless pleasure, wait until the lights go out, the lights are out. The lights go out. The lights go out. The lights go out. The lights go out. The lights are out. Holy fuck, the lights went out. The lights go out. The lights are out. Holy fuck, the lights went out. The lights go out.
And we are live once again from a treehouse built on top of a Scranton reality anchor. The only people who remember the world as it was before the event. This is the Library of Mass Destruction. I am your host, Capitalisimo, and with me, as usual, is Christopher Sandbatch. How are you doing today, sir?
Pretty good. How are you? How are you? How are you? How are you?
Oh, very good. It's been a productive Monday so far, and now I'm getting to do the thing that I enjoy most every week, other than making love to my wife, reading a book for you and all the nice people in the audience.
For you and all the nice people in the audience. I've had a particularly non-productive Monday.
Really? What did you do?
Nothing. I've been burned out. Like, I guess since like last week around Wednesday, it's like one of those things like, I'm just always doing shit.
Yeah.
Since like Wednesday of last week, I've been like almost like it's like 16-hour days. I just crashed and burned and then like slept until like noon today.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
If only I had the ability to sleep until noon.
Well, you also probably don't. Yeah, you do all kinds of things differently than me.
That's true. We live very different lives, but as men of the mind, we are brothers.
Yes, yeah.
That's true. Oh, hey, we got a $10 super chat right off the jump from Randall Shirker. He says, listening to last week's stream around the 25 through 27 minute mark, I think my suggestion for the next book would either annoy Sandbatch or activate his MK Ultra programming, given the subject matter.
Well,
what is it?
Yeah, think about the entertainment value of actually activating an MK Ultra subject live on the air for kicks.
Yeah,
It's like
right.
you capture Bigfoot and smoke a blunt with him.
That's the dream blunt rotation. Just you and Bigfoot drawing a perfect line. That is the one warm line of the Northwest Passage. Smoking a blunt, just you and Bigfoot. I feel like he would know intuitively. I feel like he would know intuitively how to smoke it, and that he would have to pass it back. I feel like he's a gentleman.
L2657 says, I need a Sandbatch stream on how to talk to the demons in the computer. Can never get the image prompts to do what I want. Am I too much of a stem cell to make it? Well, it's going to actually,
he's just asking for instructions on how to make pornography more with a greater verisimilitude.
Well, that's interesting. Actually, I'm curious which vision model you're using, because like all LLMs are all pretty much the same in terms of how you prompt them, but diffusion models and vision models, there's like 3 different: Grok, Grok, Dolly, and the stable diffusion ones. They all have different prompt styles. The one, whenever I make the AI images, I'm almost always using Dolly, just because it's the most natural language one. But there's like different ways that you can do different ones. I might do that soon. Actually, I might do some. So you want to learn to talk to the computer demon.
So you want to learn how to talk to the computer demon,
right? It's like, yep. I'll do, so they'll be available for people who don't want to listen to
that. You should write it like one of the 09A formulations where
yes.
It's incredibly hazardous to certain types of people.
Yes.
And they'll just self-destruct. Make it a permanent and fatal cognito hazard to Indians.
Yeah.
You would be the greatest hero on the planet. Penultimo says Cap would not survive one day of Sandbatch's DDD reality. I would decline the exercise. Probably, I would literally just. I don't think that if I had to live a day in your shoes, I would probably just wake up and radically change something, which is, to be fair, kind of what you do. So we might have the same methodology.
Yeah. I mean, it's like no secret I'm trying to move to California, but the day I have had what you. Oh wait, hold on. Yeah. Randall Sugar says any discussion of the Macy conferences is staring into the abyss. If you ask me, the Macy conferences would be really good. They would be really good subject material. Do you know much about them, Cap?
I do not.
They certainly fit on. They certainly fit. They're not in the temp because they're all before stuff that we're covering at this point, and Cap is actually developing something of a narrative line for the trajectory of the books that we're taking. But the Macy conferences are very interesting. Those are
it's an emergent narrative line.
Yeah, right? Yeah. The Macy conferences are the early cybernetics conferences.
Got it.
But it's like before the concentrations had sort of narrowed, and so it's like there's like literary theorists there. Like I think Wittgenstein went to some of the early ones. It's where math people and word cells and stem cells combine.
Got it.
At the Macy conferences, and they're incredible. But my life, it's only the only time I ever have to confront the reality of how actually I've had it. When I turn around and look at it, it's like your life hasn't been real easy, and I'm like, somebody will say that to me, and I'll be like, actually, you're right. It's been remarkably difficult, but I
don't have anything to compare it to, but I know intuitively.
Yeah, in day-to-day life, I'm just like, here we go. It's another day,
It's crazy how inconvenient everything seems to be. Yeah.
I do though, because whenever I travel and I get out of New Orleans, I'm like, holy shit! Some parts of this country still work.
There are places. They unfortunately are pretty much not cities.
And to quote the great Taylor Swift, I know places we can run to.
Is that a song she done? Is that a song she done wrote?
Yeah,
she done wrote for the folks.
She done it.
She done this song I done gone and wrote. That's right. Well, so to intro a couple things for people, we're gonna finish this book today for sure, for certain, for double for sure. And we have a little something, a secret surprise, a special, you might say, for the back half of the program. And so everyone should make sure to stick around for that, because it's another piece from an old friend. We'll just say, and we'll refrain from speculating as to who it is.
I wonder.
It's
Jim Garrison.
This is Jim Garrison. Yes, we will refrain from speculating. But it will be quite a doozy, a whopper, if you will. So
I gotta reshare the show. I got to shill.
Oh, thank you for shilling. Everyone,
everybody should go shill.
Everyone go shill. Shill the stream. Hit the reshill button. And we'll excuse me, get things going. All right. So the penultimate section from Mr. Eric Wilson. What's the dope on Watergate? I don't really have a Seinfeld. What's the deal? Maybe airline food. Garage freak. Jesus, what kind of crazy fucking story is this?
I'm pretty sure that's his bit.
What?
The airline food thing. That's that's his bit.
Yeah, it's actually his. It's from the opening of one of the episodes of Seinfeld. Yeah. All right. Artistically superior to JFK in almost every way, Alan J. Pakula's film Pakula. What a palooka, that Pakula. Film adaptation of the Bernstein and Woodward, aka Woodstein book, All the President's Men, succeeds where Stone's epic fails, precisely because it deliberately maintains narrative consistency with the onto-epistemological requirements of the detective story. A little footnote. All of my references to the film are taken directly from the 2-disc special edition released in 1976. What? Well, that's not that. That can't be true. Including several documentaries about the making of the film and scene-by-scene voiceover version with commentary by producer and lead actor Robert Redford. It definitely was not released in 1976. I'm just gonna say it wasn't, and he got that day wrong. Whatever.
Do you know the date?
No, I'm just saying that the 2-disc special edition was not released in 1976. I don't need to know the day that it was released.
Oh, okay.
It wasn't 1976.
We were about to do a fact check on Capitalisimo.
Yeah.
We were about to fact check. We were about to call Angela Nagel.
Oh, we're gonna fact check when DVDs were originally released. Although Robert Redford, the producer and lead actor of the film, instantly recognized the story's quality as a detective thriller, it is Jameson, in his incisive discussion of the movie, who makes the essential aesthetic observation. The detective story presupposes an absolute distinction between the story of the crime and the story of its resolution. Here, the distance between the two has been reduced to an absolute minimum by the positing of a crime as informational and media-centered as its own solution. What is the Hansel thing from Zoolander? We all know that Lee Harvey Oswald assassinated JFK, but what my film presupposes is, what if he didn't? It's something to that effect. I can't remember what exactly these stupid differences. Anyway, he's so hot right now. Oh, here we go. EL 2657. So hot right now. Cancel. There we go. Yeah, great movie. That movie aged really well.
Zoolander.
Yeah, it did.
I think I've
Still
seen
funny.
it like once. The Ben Stiller movies never really got me.
That's the good one.
Yeah,
that's the good one. The relatively successful Something About Mary, that one did not age well. That one's unwatchable now.
Yeah,
they don't really make. I don't think they really make romantic comedies anymore.
No, yeah, rom-coms are. I mean, well, there's no such thing actually as like romance in the contemporary world unless you're like, I don't know. That's not to say it's not totally true, but like the vast majority of like, it's like romance is more of a horror story now than it is a comedy, you know?
Yeah, like a pay pig who won't pay up.
Yeah, something like that.
A horror movie for the ladies.
For the ladies.
For the ladies. Let's see. In clear compliance with Jameson's requirements for the conspiracy text, All the President's Men ostensibly treats with the same forms of the grotesque as does JFK. The grotesque as the estranged world, and the grotesque as an attempt to invoke and subdue the demonic aspects of the world. But the film's slide into the realm of spectacle and disinformation is equal to that of Stone's Wagnerian cinematic bombast, even though it takes place on a more refined level and operates in a far more subtle way, namely through the transition from book to film, or in this case, from film to book. As historical fact, it was Redford himself who convinced Woodward and Bernstein to write the book from their own perspective, two young journalists fighting to uncover the truth, as opposed to their original idea, which was to deal with the effects of the unfolding of the Watergate scandal on the White House. Not only was the book version of All the President's Men self-consciously framed in terms of cinematic genres prior to its initial production, it was deliberately written with anticipation of the future screenplay by William Goldman in mind. In effect, a movie tie-in before the fact. The resultant book.
So much for death of the author. What the hell?
Amazing. Yeah. The author is alive and very interested in selling his movie rights. Yes. Extremely interested in collecting residuals. You, Sandbatch, I think that you have your phone. Like,
can you hear it?
Yes.
Oh my
absolutely.
god. Oh my god. I was actually thinking, I was like, it just keeps vibrating. It's just going off. I hope nobody can hear that. Sorry, gang.
He's getting his tips from Chatterbait in the other window. So William Goldman, isn't that the guy who wrote Princess Bride?
I think so, but I initially thought you said William Volman.
William Volman? Am I that congested right now?
No, I'm just retarded.
I'm just a little retarded boy.
Yeah.
Works. Yeah. Yeah. Apparently it is. Same one. Crazy. Interesting. All right. I got a lot of tabs open right now. Sorry. In other words, the alleged truth of the official version of the journalistic investigation, which I have already shown to be almost certainly falsified in many vital respects, is doubly compromised by the self-referential and narcissistic need to recast the real-life story in terms of film narrative. Take, for example, the beat cop-like delivery of the voiceover for the theatrical promo. The story of two young reporters who broke the Watergate conspiracy. They tripped over clues, and piece by piece, they solved the greatest detective story in American history. Compare this with Redford's explanation for one of the defining and powerful visual conceits of the film: periodic long shots and aerial views that draw our attention to smaller foreground characters who are always visually juxtaposed against a monumentalist architecture or urban landscape. Monumentalism, it says in the footnote, may be usefully defined as the architectonic expression of the will to totality.
What? It's not useful? Like, we need a footnote on the footnote.
What? The will to totality?
Yeah,
Interesting.
It's like T.S. Eliot, like footnoting The Wasteland, where he's like footnotes a German quote in French. Like, what are you doing, man?
Thanks, bud.
Yeah.
Ah,
But like, look at this. Like, this is a nibba who's got no problem doing page and a half footnotes on the most inane bullshit, and he uses this word monumentalism that he's probably coined here, and like we get like maybe usefully defined as the architectonic expression of the will to totality. What?
yeah. Do you enjoy? He could have gone with, you know what? He really could have gone with Cyclopean, right?
Yeah.
Because earlier he was riffing on Lovecraft, and if we're gonna keep it in theme, if he's gonna be more tonally coherent, he could just riff on him a little more, you know.
Let's see.
Cyclopean architecture.
What is monumentalism? Let's figure out. Look, it's not even helpful. What is? Oh God! Oh no, it's a real word.
Sex Freakman says monumentalism. That's when you figure out a guy's ethnicity based on which statue is in his profile picture.
Yeah. Okay. Oh yeah.
You mean if it's a Greek sculpture, then he's an Indian, and if it's a American sculpture, he's an Indian.
It's got lots of meanings. I think we're probably going with the Geert Hofstede one to describe a cultural dimension opposed to self-effacement. Monumentalist cultures emphasize pride.
You're a little Irish, a little German there.
Yeah, I'm like, it's just like that's halfway between Germany, and Amsterdam is halfway between Germany and Ireland. So like, got it. That's what I did.
Yep.
And enduring identity, we are who we are. Self-effacing cultures emphasize adaptability. No, none of that helps.
I probably would have
gone. This word doesn't mean anything. Yeah.
It's just big.
Yeah.
You could have just said big, man.
Yeah.
Could have just said big. Anyway, what about monumentalist verbiage? What is that? Is that that? Could that be usefully defined as the architectonic expression of the lexical expression of the will to?
The problem is if I just ask the computer demon that question, it's going to give me an answer, and that's an instance where it will just hallucinate.
It will 100%.
It'll just try to. It'll like take what it will
spit out an original Hegel book.
Right. It'll do that. But it's sort of interesting because I'm in my GPT account, which it has a pretty extensive sort of knowledge graph on me specifically at this point. And it will, and like it's possibly even more insidious is that it will make up an answer that it thinks I want to hear based on incredible knowledge of me. It will DDD me. It will attempt to DDD me.
Yeah. Let's see. All right. The lexical expression of the will to tower.
Yes. Sex Freakman living up to his name once again.
Living up to it. One of God's strongest posters. To contrast the hard work they, Woodstein, were doing way down. I really hate that he's got this like ship name for the two of them that he has Woodstein for Woodward and Bernstein. To contrast the hard work they were doing way down in the bottom of things against the state, the city, even the administration. Now compare this with Woodstein's self-portrait of Woodward in the opening scene of the book version. Woodward had worked for the Post for only 9 months and was always looking for a good Saturday assignment. But this didn't sound like one. A good Saturday assignment. A good Saturday assignment sounds like buying a hooker.
That's exactly that's literally what it means.
Yeah. Who's that? The Saturday assignment.
Yeah.
A burglary at the local Democratic headquarters was too much like most of what he had been doing. Investigative pieces on unsanitary restaurants and small-time police corruption. Woodward had hoped he had broken out of that. He had just finished a series of stories on the attempted assassination of Alabama Governor George Wallace. Now it seemed he was back in the same old slot.
That's
Wow.
pretty
Same old slot on a Saturday assignment, huh?
Yeah.
You're becoming a regular.
Political violence against presidential candidates, you know.
Also,
like, wow.
Also, the tense here is really weird, isn't it?
Yeah.
Like Woodward had hoped he had broken out of that. Like it's not just, yeah. I don't know. It's double. He's passed twice, right? He had hoped that he had previously. He had hoped that he had previously broken out of that mold, right? Anyway, so without batting an eye, and apparently impervious to irony, Ben Bradley holds forth on Woodstein's investigative journalism. It's the longest shot I've ever seen in journalism, which is my point exactly. It was such a long shot that it could not actually be one. A double layer of disinformation now comes into view. Not only do Woodstein dissemble in order to conceal their own clandestine activities, All the President's Men was a counter-conspiracy, uncover the cover-up of an antecedent conspiracy, the cover-up, which was itself a conspiratorial act undertaken in reaction to an even earlier conspiracy, the sabotage burglary, which, although classified as a failure, was really a success. But their concealment conforms to the dramatic and narrative requirements of Tinseltown, which precisely because they are cinematic, acquire a greater veracity through strict compliance with the moviegoer's expectations of the expose film as truth.
You know what? Hold on before we Frank. Eric Wilson is like taking on this Columbo aspect. Like,
one more thing.
Yeah. Just a few more questions, Mr. Woodward.
if you wouldn't mind, yeah, exactly. Let's see. Requirements of Tinseltown, which precisely because they are cinematic, acquire a greater veracity through the strict compliance with the moviegoer's expectation that the film will be truth. Jameson has elaborated on this unrecognized double movement brilliantly. But the originality of All the President's Men is to have staged its chain of events virtually from the outset as the struggle between two conspiracies, two collectivities, two suprapersonal organizations, the plumbers versus the newspaper, the White House versus the Washington Post, the voices on the telephone versus the, in principle, equally disembodied voice of Deep Throat, the amoral arrogance of the Nixon officials versus the equally brutal and ruthless determination and ambition of the young reporters. Sex Freakman. This guy's prose is actually pissing me off. Who's fucking assholes prose? Who's fucking dickhead? It's clearly demonstrated by the striking visuality of the newsroom of the Washington Post, the only set in the film that is fully lit. Fully lit. Jameson deduces, probably correctly, that Pakula himself thinks that the Post's openness and harsh fluorescent lighting is the sign of truth itself, and everything uncomfortable about it. Actually, its light is fully as unnatural as the darkness, and also in some sense a replay and an unfolding of the primal offices at the Watergate with which we began. To the best of my knowledge, in the footnote, no critic of the film, including Jameson, has drawn any attention to what is, for me, one of the most striking features of many of the scenes in the film: the prominence given to framed portraits or paintings, most notably the centrally placed presidential photograph of John F. Kennedy in Democratic Party headquarters. These may be visual puns, a double entendre of the truth as the framing of a story and the conflicting stories of the warning collectivities as the framing of the other. What visual puns, double entendre of the truth as the framing of a story and the conflicting stories of the warring collectivities as the framing of the other. The stories of the warring collectivities is the framing of the other story. But what the fuck do we mean by collectivities? What do we mean by that? What is that word doing in there?
Yeah. What is Word doing right here, Mr. Wilson? I think you're just
What is this word doing right here?
This is like classic like 2010s like academic bullshit is what he's doing. Like this is like, first of all, any mention of Frederick Jameson at all, you know, any mention of Frederick, like when we win, everyone except Geo who has ever referenced Frederick Jameson is going in the wood chipper. No matter how good your book is, you know.
It do be like that, Mr. Wilson. Yes. All right. Well, so 2 conspiracies and 2 collectivity. Apparently, it's just the collectivity is probably just the totality of the situation that resulted in the act, right? So,
yeah,
that's what it kind of means in the previous statement.
All right, Mr. Wilson, I'll allow it.
I'll allow it. All right. Anyway, all right. The political unconscious of the postmodern of postmodernism, epitomized by the conspiracy text, requires the reworking of the triptych of the classical detective thriller: the detective hero, the criminal villain, and the victim. As
whoa, they're missing the defense towel.
He fucking finally he defined collectivities after he'd already used it twice. There we go.
It's called burying the lead.
Thanks. We are detectives ourselves, uncovering the meanings of the words in this book. All right, detective thriller, the detective hero, criminal villain, and the victim as collectivities. Collectivization of dramatic personae is necessary because all agency in the globalized world system is corporate. Within this banal materialist observation lies concealed a subversive aesthetic truth that was very much operative in Nixon Watergate. The unfolding of the spectacle of Watergate is identical with the suspension of the possibility of any possible future repetition. The spectacle of Watergate proves the efficacy of the rule of law through the judicial removal of the enemy within. Yet the clandestine agency at work was to effect an extrajudicial coup d'etat. The highest proof that the system works was the covert appropriation of the system by private agency. Actually, that is a good observation, right? So the system that was supposed to result in the removal of a bad actor was instead utilized by bad actors to frame the innocent, right? In this formulation of what happened at Watergate, which is to be fair, probably, is definitely more true than the public narrative, right? So Wilson is essentially saying that Nixon, of course, the only thing he did wrong was take the bait, right? So,
hold on. Helen Andrews just subscribed to my Substack. Welcome aboard, Helen.
Who's Helen Andrews?
She was the you know who Helen Andrews is?
Oh wait, that lady with the weird face, right?
That lady? No. She's got a beautiful face now that she's subscribed.
Yeah, the lady with the unusual appearance.
She wrote the Boomer book. Any
woman that Sandbatch finds appealing is plausibly odd looking.
That is so not true.
Implausibly odd looking.
Helen Andrews is in her 50s and married, first of all, and she's incidentally the author of what I think is the best bit of like sort of right-wing media ecosystem journalism of the decade so far. It's a First Things article called Their Decadence and Ours, about the difference between English and French decadence.
Interesting. I don't know anything about the decadence of either group, nor do I care that much. I guess I kind of care about the English. I wish the French well, but I wish them
They
more.
talk about it's a response to a Welbeck novel. So like, there you go.
Houellebecq. Yeah. Every French word I now hear in Oliver Perrine's wife's voice, which is a little weird. Anyway, it's because it's the French that she is the French person I talk to the most, which is almost never. So, let's see here. The spectacle of Watergate. Oh yeah. Extrajudicial on the level of personal agency, the gumshoe-like dogged individualism and beat cop heroism of the solitary investigators constitutes not a new dawn of investigative journalism, but its precise moment of expiration. What stands out to us, the children of the video age, in watching this film is the historical obsolescence of what Redford freely admits are the dramatic weapons of Woodstein: telephone, typewriter, teletype, and notebook, all of which become stronger over the course of the film as the investigators approach their goal, but remain objects which the hermeneutic of detection at once transforms into traces and signs. For Jameson, the following Walter Benjamin, the dramatic deployment of archaic technology constitutes a primary means of signaling the lost and by now irrelevant past. At any rate, it seems clear that in All the President's Men, the representability of this narrative material is somehow deeply related to what is already archaic about it, to what is already secretly no longer actual, what is outmoded and already old-fashioned, whether or not the participants or indeed the first viewers are aware of it. It is as though somehow the film bore on itself in a kind of calibration the rate of the trajectory of its own contents into the distant past. The heroic, legendary moment of a vanished medium, the newspaper, a new sensation that was always somehow, in its generic nature, a fairy tale. We should expect the grand moment of both.
Wait, hold on. No.
What?
Go back. What? Like, I need
Yeah.
that sentence that ends with "in its generic nature, a fairy tale."
Yeah. Well, unfortunately, the whole thing is basically one sentence. So it is as though somehow the film bore on itself in a kind of calibration the rate of the trajectory of its own contents into the distant past. The heroic, legendary moment of a vanished medium, the newspaper, a news sensation that was always somehow in its generic nature a fairy tale. So the great triumph of the newspaper was the removal of Nixon, right? That's he's saying, and which fair enough, I guess. Yeah, that makes sense to me.
Okay, I agree with him. Yeah, I agree.
But it was always somehow in its generic nature a fairy tale, and it was also, in fact, a fairy tale in this instance because the newspaper was the bullet, but it was not the gun or the hand holding it. So, yeah. We should expect the grand moment of both the book and the film version, the union of the dramatic and the clandestine, and the spectacle's victorious collapsing of knowledge into gossip is the handling or framing of Deep Throat. According to the promo, it was a plot device worthy of a Cold War spy thriller. A shadowy figure, the keeper of the secrets of a national crime, reveals snippets of information to the man struggling to crack the case. Had Hollywood invented it, no one would have believed it. Of course, to a very real degree, Hollywood did invent it. Even more so if we understand Woodstein to have been writing the first treatment of a screenplay in the form of a journalistic novel. The first reference to Deep Throat in the book version is oblique, almost concealed. Woodward called an old friend and sometime source who worked for the federal government and did not like to be called at his office. His friend said hurriedly that the break-in case was going to heat up, but he wouldn't explain and hung up. Deep Throat is not formally announced in the text until almost 50 pages later. Woodward had a source in the executive branch who had access to information at the Committee to Re-elect the President, as well as the White House. His identity was unknown to anyone else. He could be contacted only on very important occasions. Woodward had promised he would never identify him or his position to anyone. Further, he had agreed never to quote the man, even as an anonymous source. Their discussions would be only to confirm information that he had obtained elsewhere and to add some perspective. Footnote, which leads directly to two of the most egregious examples of disinformation in the book version. In the footnote at 112, we read that this is a footnote about a footnote in another book. We read that no dissatisfied FBI agent or person from the committee to reelect the president employee had ever come to Bernstein or Woodward offering information. An unnamed FBI agent informs Bernstein that we went to everybody involved in the money, i.e. the slush fund. We know that 90% of your information comes from the bureau files. You either see them or someone reads them to you over the phone. So yeah, none of that was true, of course. So, as was more or less faithfully reproduced in the film version, the source, now explicitly identified as Deep Throat, later expresses an interest in an alternative mode of communication. At first, Woodward and Deep Throat had talked by telephone. But as the tensions of Watergate increased, Deep Throat's nervousness grew. He didn't want to talk on the telephone, but had said they could meet somewhere on occasion. Woodward's investigative success with Deep Throat prompts a rueful response from Bernstein. Back at the office, Woodward went to the rear of the newsroom to call Deep Throat. Bernstein wished he had a source like that. Darn. As if by magic, he gets one. The mysterious woman, Delphic Oracle, known only as Z. Bernstein makes first contact with Z. Absolutely no context or background is provided. In the footnote, the reporters return to more conventional. All of these footnotes in this section could have just been part of the main text. None of these are like really asides.
You're not really footnotes.
Yeah.
He's just padding the text out. That's what he's doing.
Padding the text that he really wanted to get to 300 pages.
Yeah. Unlock $5 more on the
unlock. The reporters return to more conventional sources. A few nights later, Bernstein signed a post car out of the office garage and drove to an apartment several miles away. It was about 8 o'clock when he knocked on the door. The woman he was looking for answered, but when he told her his name, she did not open the door. She slipped a piece of paper underneath it with her unlisted telephone number written on it. Call me later in the evening, she said, adding, your articles have been excellent. That's a Saturday assignment.
That's a Saturday assignment.
There's
the femme fatale.
Yep.
You left off the femme fatale.
You left out the fucking trim.
Yeah.
Yep. You gotta have a skirt in there. Anyway. The woman in a position to have considerable knowledge of secret activities of the White House and the committee to reelect the president. She refused to be interrogated and laid down the ground rules. She would point the reporters in the right direction to help them fill in some of the right names in the right places. Certain hints, key avenues to pursue. She would answer questions only in the most general way, if at all. Much of what she called her message might seem vague, partially because even she didn't understand things completely, and because the information would be difficult to sort out. The scene appears almost verbatim in Redford's film, except for the fact that the message is not attributed to Z, but to Deep Throat. The depiction of Bernstein's first encounter with Z is transposed in toto to Woodward's first nocturnal and underworldly interview with Deep Throat. Al Holbrook, who, however, is
what do you say? Thanks, Freakman. Are you still bored with the pros? That was a steamy sentence. Like, whoa. What? Let's do it again. Where's the yeah.
You mean all of the innuendo baked into that paragraph?
The depiction of Bernstein's first encounter with Z is transposed in toto on Woodward's first
the scene appears almost verbatim,
yes.
Except for the fact that the message isn't attributed to Z but to Deep Throat. The depiction of Bernstein's first encounter with Z is transposed in toto to Woodward's first nocturnal and underworldly interview with Deep Throat, or Hal Holbrook, who, however, is equally oracular to the mysterious woman. Yep. You can't pronounce oracular without pronouncing all
Oral.
of the letters in oral.
It's in there.
Yep, they're in there. Your perseverance has been admirable, she said. Apply it to what I say. That sounds like someone who's dummy mommying you. Your perseverance has been admirable. Bernstein, who had no idea what to expect, thought she sounded like some kind of mystic, some sort of mystic mommy, as the Zoomers would say. There is a footnote on that. Even worse for the conspiracy junkie, just like the ironic "play it again, Sam," the equally ironic "follow the money" is never actually said by anyone in either the film or the book. The source of the cliche is provided in a statement delivered by yet another nameless lawyer who is an associate of E. Howard Hunt's lawyer, William O. Bittman. The money is the key to this thing.
Jesus, that's not a real name.
What, William O. Bittman?
He's the Bitman.
William O. Bittman. Yeah, that's German for please, man. A case of camouflage by transposition, or as Robert Redford put it, tremendous signs all over the place. Oh, look at this happy, look at this smiling little guy.
Look at this guy.
Look at this smiling little guy. Hold on. Can I
what an incredible placement.
Why can't I zoom in? I can't zoom in on this.
What an incredible photo and incredible, like, look, this, like, in terms of folio, this one photograph gets a whole fucking spread.
Yeah, look at this. Look at these guys. Just Gerald Ford, just joshing around.
Space. Yeah, we could have gotten a centerfold, actually, is what we needed out of this one.
Oh man. Yeah. It would have been perfect right there. Yeah. And man, Kissinger and Gerald Ford, you just imagine them looking at each other like, look at us, just a couple of goofs. Who would have thought? Would have thought? Not me. Who's
the dude in the background? I wonder. You can tell I've been into book design because I'm like, look at all this white space.
Yeah. Well, it's a White House.
The White House, white space, white man.
You like how Kissinger entirely occupies negative space. Yes. And he has this weird homunculus growing out of his left shoulder or his right shoulder. Yes. He's got a real quado, and Ford's pants perfectly match the floor. It's just crazy. All right. Chapter 6, creatively titled Conclusion. Since the Watergate affair, the media think they can get away with anything.
Hey,
Norman Mailer.
You know, I've never read Norman Mailer. No, none.
Still alive. Somehow still alive.
Is he still alive?
Oh yeah, I'm pretty sure he is. I don't know. Fact check me.
Fact check him.
Norman Mailer. I just met her.
Yeah.
Oh no, he died in 2007. Fuck.
Long time ago.
Yeah. I was just hella wrong. Although that is pretty late anyway. And that is this final thought, which may best explain the dogmatic refusal of the Western literati to collectively withhold recognition of the rationality of the discourse of parapolitics. If true, then these self-proclaimed insiders, CBS News reporters can now reveal that, are in fact just one more subset of hapless stooges, not at all unlike Libra's Nicholas Branch. When advertising in all of its forms aspires to provide an entire terrain of social reality, one can understand why the judiciary, in its turn, distances itself from the political sphere and from a democracy presumed to be the guardian of the old moral order, to seek out a new popular legitimacy based on its tacit alliance with the mass media. The reality is that the entire social edifice of the social authority of journalism is, as an elite profession, is wholly dependent upon the extreme willingness of its members to be actively co-opted by the clandestine. You don't hate journalists enough. Should we tap the sign, folks? Should we tap the sign?
Yeah. However you do. I just went and looked. I used the Philip. It looks. Philip Roth's dead too. DeLillo's the only one left, really, and I guess Thomas Pynchon.
Yeah. Yep.
That.
When did Yeah, Roth died in 2018. Yeah. Rest in peace, you horny old bastard.
Yeah.
He died just before Blue Chew would have given him a second lease on life. Yeah. Wasn't even released yet. And neither was he. Let's see. It must not be forgotten that every media professional is bound by wages and other rewards and recompenses to a master, and sometimes to several, and that every one of them knows he is dispensable. As Debord enlightens us, therefore, all experts serve the state and the media, and only in that way do they achieve their status. I wonder if Eric Wilson remembered that in 2020. You know, do you? I kind of wonder. I want to read something a little newer from Eric Wilson, because for all of his Marxist shenanigans, and obscurantist academic jargon, I have enjoyed this read. A spectacle then within a spectacle, these somewhat naive attempts by the parapolitical scholar or the radical criminologist to have he's talking about himself, to have the clandestine foundations of the society of the spectacle formerly declared as truth, merely gives rise to yet another endless loop of self-referential circulation. That just means you're confused. Secrecy dominates this world, and first and foremost as the secret of domination. According to the spectacle, secrecy would only be a necessary exception to the rule of the freely available, abundant information, just as the domination in the integrated spectacle's free world would be restricted to a mere executive body in the service of democracy. But no one really...
Oh, what? No, go ahead. No, you got to finish. You got to finish.
You got to finish the whole thing?
Yeah, well, yeah, I know. Right. Go.
But no one really believes the spectacle. How then do spectators accept the existence of secrecy, which alone rules out any chance of their running a world whose principal realities they know nothing, in the unlikely event that they were to be asked how to set about it? The fact is that almost no one sees secrecy in its inaccessible purity and its functional universality. Everyone accepts that there are inevitably little areas of secrecy reserved for specialists as regards things in general. Many believe that they are in on the secret. Someone, i.e. the professional journalist who is happy to be given confidential information, is hardly likely to criticize it, nor to notice that in all that is confided in him, the principal part of the reality is invariably hidden. Thanks to the benevolent protection of his deceivers, he sees a few more of the cards, false though they may be. He never learns the rules of the game, thus he immediately identifies with the manipulators and scorns an ignorance which in fact he shares. Their only role is to make domination more respectable, never to make it comprehensible. They are the privilege of front row spectators who are stupid enough to believe that they can know something, not by making use of what is hidden from them, but by believing what is revealed. Base Debord. He
said lots of base shit. I mean, he really did.
He really did. That was extremely based. I would like to go beyond even Debord in this final point. Not only do the public experts falsely believe themselves to be in on the secret, in an even more vitally parapolitical matter, they are collectively unable to conceptualize the almost certain possibility that they are actually outside of the outsideness mentioned, outside of the hermetically sealed inner circle. For if such were shown to be true, wherein would lie their expertise? You don't hate journalists enough. So true. I love it. Good conclusion. Yeah. Interesting. I will run through this bibliography a little slowly. So if you want to do some further reading, you can just pause, take a look. What do you think, Sandbatch? What do you think, Batchman?
Yeah, it was okay.
It was fine.
Yeah.
I enjoyed it. There were some high and low points. When he really allowed himself to talk about the narrative aspects, he was much better than when he was talking about the
I
theoretical
tell you what I
aspect.
like. I really like this. I actually really like the section on Bay of Pigs, but that was because it was like it's an incident that I haven't spent much time in, and I'm just the wildness of, because you have my favorite part of the book until the end actually might have been the dramatis personae, because like it's just like never ceases to amaze when you have to actually explain the background of lots of these dudes. I like feel so much better about myself and worse about the country. I'm like, oh man, in the 1950s I would have been in the CIA.
You might be right now. You might be right now.
There used to be a better employees union, but and then I actually really did like whenever he started talking, the other thing he did that I really liked was the bit about the whole section about the grotesque in this. I thought he did a pretty good job there for the most part. And it was good to see somebody talking about that actually. The Gulf of Tonkin. I think if you go back and listen to the section where we were talking about that, you didn't like it actually. So it grew on you in the intervening. No, I like that he discussed it at all. Okay, so
fair enough.
Because as material, it gave me something to really bounce on, and I am, I'm a narcissistic show host. Whenever the read along cooperates by being my punching bag, I'm totally thrilled.
I love it more.
Yeah. So much better than him being wrong. Then I just have to sit here fuming silently that somebody beat me to it. I mean, some of it's better than him being right,
Fair enough. So now is the time where so we're done with the book. We're done with the book. We'll here's his biography. I'm not going to read it. So and that's the end of the book. So I promised you a little secret, a little taste of something.
The first hit is free.
The first hit is fucking free. That is right. So I don't know if you recall, but on our read through of Aberration in the Heartland of the Real, we went over some of the escapades of our favorite physician, Dr. Louis Jolyon West. And one of the things that he did that seemed kind of out of character and odd was that he murdered an elephant with a heroic dose of LSD. Well, it turns out that he wrote an entire published paper about doing that.
No way.
Yes. And this paper is called Lysergic Acid Diethylamide, Its Effects on a Male Asiatic Elephant. Authors Louis Jolyon West, Chester M. Pierce, and Warren D. Thomas. It was published in Science in 1962. And I would be remiss not to mention that this is in the voluminous digitized archives of Wendy Painting, which she was kind enough to provide to me.
I was recently out because all the Jolyon West papers are all out at UCLA, and I was out there recently. And had I been there for like 2 more days, I would have spent one of the days like bugging them to let me see. I want to see the papers. I know you got them in there.
Yeah, I mean, I would love to go through his papers. I would do a trip to LA just for that, actually. If I knew someone in LA, anyone in LA who could arrange that, I would make the trip just.
It's so easy. All you have to do is log in. You have to sign up to visit the special collections, and then at worst, what they'll do is put you in the microfilm room. But they'll have stuff that you have to, all the stuff that you can't, that isn't available. It'll be microfilm.
Can I just OCR all that shit? Can I just scan it?
No, they're gonna be really. They won't let you bring your phone in. They'll be really bitchy about that.
Oh, yeah. Fucking gay. I'm gonna have to get some of those Meta Ray-Bans so that I can just scan.
Yeah, I mean, really, they should give up. It's too late.
Just give me the documents. Fuck you. Yeah.
Yeah.
Anyway, Okay, so most of this page is a different piece of article from the same issue, but we start in the lower right hand corner. Lysergic acid diethylamide, its effects on a male Asiatic elephant. Because of his remarkable intelligence, his extended lifespan, and his capacity for highly organized group relationships, and his extraordinary psychobiology in general, the elephant is an animal of great interest to the zoologist and the comparative psychologist.
I again am struck by how good of a writer he is. And now, thanks to our outro music, which, by the way, everyone, our outro music is, I'm pretty sure it's John West.
It is 100% his voice.
Yeah. And now every time I read his work, it reads in his voice. So like you're reading it, but like it's literally coming through to me as
Penultimo says that elephant, his name was Sandbatch.
No, see, oh no, I had some LSD 3 weeks ago. Yeah.
Remember, folks, to sneed those super chats for this absolute keynote. You would not find this on any other show. I fucking guarantee it.
So you actually know that was the thing I interrupted you a minute ago.
Yeah.
Is that Jonathan Hemingway, a longtime fan of the show, and actually one of my strongest soldiers. Like, shout out to Jonathan Hemingway for that. But like he says, this is the only useful show left on the internet. Everyone else is just pretending to have stuff to say, and I interrupt you Three Stooges style to be like, hey, listen to this. Derail the show for 30 seconds, and then we seg straight into a serious discussion of Jolyon West making an elephant poop itself and die, and everyone in the chat goes, the elephant Sandbatch.
All right. It has only been in recent years that the physiology of the elephant has received the attention of scientists. There is now a growing interest in this animal on the part of psychiatrists. One of the strangest things about elephants is the phenomenon of going on must. I don't know what this word is. I did skim this article. I haven't read it.
Spell it for
detailed.
me.
MUSTH. Must.
That's a typo. It's must.
Nope, it's not, because it's in here a bunch.
Damn,
it's just a completely new word for a male elephant. Must.
No, I need y'all to sneed super chats to help me move to California.
That's right. Sneed super chats. Sneed those super chats to fund more experiments on Sandbatch. If we get $50,000 in super chats, I will murder an elephant.
No, that's like murdering an elephant's way higher than that. That's like $50,000 in like
fucking guarantee you I could go to like India and murder an elephant for like $10K. I just want the extra money.
I wonder, let's see how much they are actually. Let's see
what in India.
This is going to be like how much
for 4 crore
hunting
4 crore rupiah
on elephants in different countries. Elephant.
I guess it would be 4 crore rupiah.
I definitely should have include US dollar conversions.
Yeah.
So in Zimbabwe, 10-day-bull elephant hunt exportable may run about US $18,500.
Wow, that's really fucking cheap, and it's affordable. Wow.
Yeah, that's in Zimbabwe, and Tanzania can go, which is the like really ritzy place. It can go up to like 30,000. And in Namibia, 14-day trophy elephant safari hunt, all inclusive. Oh, okay. So like 1850 is going to be for the tag. Okay, that's like that's like minimum cost. Like if you want like
yeah, but I don't want a trophy hunt. I don't need to take it back. I just need to murder it.
Now let's ask it. Okay, what about in Asia?
Look, there's just like a lot of elephants in like India and Thailand, and Like
there appear to be no credible records of legal recreational trophy hunting tags for the Asian.
again, it's not
Yeah, so
hunting.
there we go.
I'm not hunting.
Yeah.
I am not hunting. There is no sport involved. There's no fair chase. I'm just murdering an intelligent being.
I'm just like trying to. I'm trying to ballpark the monetary value on the life.
Well,
of
how much does
an elephant?
how much does an elephant cost in Thailand?
Let's get down to brass tacks. How much for the elephant? Oh yeah, how much does an elephant? How much does an elephant cost in Thailand? It's refusing to answer questions of a sexual nature.
What? No AI. I don't mean a fat bitch. I mean a literal elephant. Penultimo says the AI answering Sandbatch probably thinks this is a tame set of questions.
Let's see what my actual subjects have here. I have,
in a previous episode, Sandbatch, you did share your set of MK Ultra prompts for the AI, and I did share that with someone. And
did you share the prompt or did you share my output?
The prompt.
Okay, yeah.
The prompt that you shared, so that they could do it to themselves.
Everyone that I know who's done it has come. They've gotten mad at me.
They have gotten mad at you.
Yeah.
Yes. All right. Johnny Walt says, "Is everyone's ranking of the most important women the same?" I got Wendy at number 3.
Yeah, me too.
No, I'm sure everyone's ranking isn't the same because my wife is number 1 for me. And I'm sure she's not on any of your lists. Unless she is, in which case, thanks, guys.
Wife,
I appreciate it.
Wife, Emma Watson, and Wendy Painting.
Your list is my wife, Emma Watson, and Wendy Painting. Honestly, if I hadn't met my wife, I would be a terrorist by now. There's like no chance of anything else. She saved all of you from a very dark path that I would have been on. Let's see. One of the strangest things about elephants is the phenomenon of going on must. This syndrome, a form of madness, which occurs almost exclusively in the males, begins with early adulthood when the elephant is in between 12 and 20 years old, and continues to occur once or twice a year until after the involutional period around 45 to 50. As he enters a period of must, the bull elephant, I think that there's certain groups of people who do this exact same thing.
I think, but I mean, Jolly West is such a good writer. He's low-key implying that.
He's low-key implying this.
Yes.
The age range is uncanny.
Yeah.
As he enters a period of must, the bull elephant begins to show signs of restlessness and irritability. His eyes water, and the slit-like bilateral temporal gland located midway between the eye and the ear starts to excrete a brown, sticky fluid. Within 48 to 72 hours, there is a violent change in the animal's behavior. Normally cooperative and tameable, the elephant now runs berserk for a period of about 2 weeks, during which time he may attack or attempt to destroy anything in his path, whether it be a gas station, a police station, a Target, or the entire downtown of many American cities. That the activity of the bull elephant during must is not simply a sexual excitement like rut is suggested by the fact that he is as likely to attack a female as to mount her during this period. Furthermore, man, it is getting more and more uncanny. Furthermore, mating behavior on the part of the bull elephant occurs at any time of the year that a receptive cow becomes available. Yet more uncanny. Because it goes on must, the male elephant can be a most dangerous beast. I feel like that word is designed to make me develop a lisp.
It's definitely sort of strategically placed. Okay, so
I'm getting DDD'd by that word.
It's like it's no.
Yeah.
I mean, it's his prose is striking. So like Sex Freakman was mad at Eric Wilson's. Now here you go.
I am overjoyed at the charming Jolly on West.
One of the most unnervingly readable writers. I like this. Like
also, this is literally a published journal article.
Yeah, I mean, it's like
this is academic writing. We're reading an issue of Science.
Yeah, it's way beyond the level of like prose that you normally catch from these people. Like I fed this page into the GPT right now, and it called it Cold War Sublime. Okay,
nice. Oh my God. Sex Freakman says, Grok, you don't understand. I have to find that elephant during mating season. I absolutely Elon Musk. Yeah. I was thinking it. I was thinking of just saying Elon Musk instead of Musk because it's easier to pronounce. Because he goes on Musk, the male elephant can be a most dangerous beast, even in his role as a working animal in Asia. There are fewer than a dozen male elephants captive in the United States. Several have been destroyed in the past because of the hazard they created. Nearly all of the elephants in zoos, menageries, carnivals, and circuses are females, most of them Indian, Asiatic, rather than the larger African subspecies. Johnny Wald sends $10 with his ranking. Mary Mother of Christ is number 1. His mom is number 2. And Wendy Painting, PhD, is number 3.
Yeah. I think that you Catholics, didn't you all just didn't based Protestant Pope just downgrade Mary?
Absolutely not.
Yeah, no, but they changed the wording or something like that.
No fucking way.
You can't say co-redemptrix anymore.
Well, that's unfortunate because
I'm about to say that shit right now.
I'm about to say co-redemptrix even more. Whenever I wake up in the morning and my wife is still asleep, I whisper in her ear, "Wake up, my co-redemptrix." And she says, "What the fuck are you doing?" Because she's not Catholic. She doesn't know what any of that shit is. Anyway, Sex Freakman says when he says it's not a strictly sexual phenomenon because he's just as likely to attack a female as he is to mount her, there's a faulty assumption there, which I can't elaborate on.
Damn.
So true. Anyway, the male elephant's periodic madness is an almost unique phenomenon in nature. Almost is doing a lot of work there. And it provides an interesting opportunity for psychiatric research. What is the mysterious fluid excreted by the temporal gland during must? Does a simultaneous internal secretion intoxicate the animal? Or is the elephant's glandular disturbance merely a reflection of a more profound inner periodic hormonal thunderstorm, which also disrupts his brain and behavior? That is a great question. And I almost feel like Jolly on West was thinking, what if I made a person take the weird brown paste that the elephant is excreting?
It's like that thought process.
You know what he's thinking.
I wonder what's in that weird brown paste.
I wonder what's in that weird brown paste. I wonder if it'd fuck you up real good. Recently, we decided to attempt to induce experimentally a behavioral aberration that might resemble the phenomenon of going on must. The animal involved was Tusco, estimated age 14 years, a male Indian elephant, Elephas maximus indicus, that was being boarded at the Lincoln Park Zoo in Oklahoma City. And lysergic acid diethylamide was chosen as the psychomimetic agent because of its well-known personality disrupting effect upon humans and other animals. Should Tusco's reaction to an injection of LSD resemble going on must, we wanted to see whether there would occur simultaneously an excretion of the temporal glands, and if possible, to collect some of the fluid.
Now, I just want to pause for a minute and just like figure out what we've done here. I think whenever we were doing the Wendy painting paper, I point out that like a lot of times, like you see Jolly West sitting in his like mid-century modern swanky house, like, you know, sitting here, you know, he's like read some like the only way I could see this happening is he's read some like Time magazine story about Indian elephants, and he's been like, Indian elephants. Let's get a bite on this must thing. And I think this is a great chance, great opportunity to inject an elephant with LSD just to see what the hell happens. And then he sits down at his desk and he writes this incredibly literate, incredibly rhetorically dynamic, absolute bullshit justification for shooting an elephant up with LSD.
Yes. Yes. How can I sell this? Hold on. When was this published? This
62.
was published in December of 1960. No, I wanted the date.
Yeah.
I just want to point out, I'm going to share a different tab real quick here. This is Jolyon West from October 1962. So this is the guy. It's just like, I'm gonna murder a fucking elephant.
The idea is you can see the idea, like
you can see
gesticulating, you know, gestating in his eyes.
Yes. Oh my god. He had all of this intelligence, and what did he use it on? The coolest shit, the coolest, evilest shit.
Yes.
Yeah, he really was like a Bond villain, wasn't he? It was crazy. Yes. All right. Should Tusco's reaction to an injection, and collect the fluid. Man, it's a really good thing this didn't work, because otherwise there would be a bunch of elephants getting, and also a good thing that whatever that fluid is that comes out of their temporal glands is apparently not very useful, because otherwise there would be a bunch of like elephant dairy farms where they're just constantly getting dosed with acid and having their temporal glands milked.
It might have saved the species.
Well, I mean, actually, that would have.
I think there's.
That would have made there be a lot more elephants if there was an industry.
Yeah, I think they're not in particular. I think they're not particularly endangered at this point.
I'm sure it depends on the. I'm sure it depends on the subspecies.
I have some terrible news to report to everybody. By the way, the Wigger Pig meme has made it to Substack. Oh, that's Dan Baltic's fault. Thanks, Dan.
Thanks, Dan. Not a kosher meme. Let's see. A dose of 100 to 200, which is picograms, which is 0.1 to 0.2 milligrams. What?
That's so little.
That's so much.
What?
The effective rate of the effective dose of LSD in humans is in the nanogram range.
Micrograms. It's in micrograms.
Micrograms?
Yeah, that's what you don't ask me how I know this.
Oh, interesting. I thought it was in nanogram. Anyway, whatever.
No, it's because we're like if you know someone who's into this sort of thing, and they
a tenth of a milligram of acid is still a fucking lot.
Yeah, okay, it's a lot.
Yeah.
It's a big dose, yeah.
Yeah. Of LSD administered a dose of so 1.1 to 0.2 milligrams of LSD administered orally to humans is usually sufficient to produce for several hours a marked mental disturbance in some way similar to the naturally occurring psychosis and reactions of delirium. Yeah, that's not like a recreational dose. That's a shitload. That's a heroic dose right there. Higher dosages up to 0.2 milligrams per kilogram of body weight
that's a Saturday evening assignment.
Yeah, have produced a marked sympathicomimetic effect. Sympathomimetic. There we go.
What a word! Like let's see.
Sympathomimetic.
Let's see if there's any sympathomimetic uses. Ooh, that is a word.
I mean, sure. What does Webster say?
Use. When was the first use of ask? First known use takes to the early 20th century. A concise timeline. So, it is used by. It's used. To describe the isolated epinephrine adrenaline from adrenal glands in the 1901 paper was the first time it was used.
Okay, well, they mimic the effects of the body's fight or flight system.
Yeah,
that's what it means pharmacologically. Okay. With dilation of the pupils, hyperreflexia, hypertension, elevated temperature, tremor, sweating, illusions, vivid visual hallucinations, and grossly disorganized psychotic thought and behavior. No lethal doses in man have been recorded, although there have been instances of the misuse of LSD in its clinical application to human subjects. You don't say, Louis Jolyon West. You don't say that it's been misused in clinical settings on humans. Really? This guy, the cheek of him. The cheek of him. Proportionally much larger doses have been required to obtain comparable results in lower animals. In order to produce in the rhesus macaque a sensory blockade sufficient to cause loss of position sense and temporary blindness, Evarts gave doses as large as 0.5 to 1 milligram per kilogram. Similar doses must be given to produce a similar effect in the cat. Imagine giving a cat 1 milligram of acid per kilogram of body weight.
That's, it's an interesting, fascinating fact about cats. They have severely different metabolisms than we do.
Yeah,
and they trip for weeks whenever you.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
Similar doses must be given to produce a similar effect in the cat. The affecting of even a transient rage reaction in the cat usually requires intravenous administration of at least 0.15 milligrams per kilogram. Doses of up to 6.5 milligrams per kilogram given intravenously are required to kill a cat.
Now that's an incredible amount. But it's worth pointing out that because they didn't know this at the time, they're doing it's literally doing black box research with these, there's how much,
and
there is a reason for this. There is a reason, because it acts directly on serotonin system, and humans have an incredibly elaborate serotonin system. So there's a lot of shit for it to fuck with in people.
Yeah. Still, the I have to kill this cat with a heroic dose of with a mythic level dose of acid. I don't know. Do people get PhDs in pharmacology for that? Probably,
yeah.
The amount of LSD finally administered to Tusco by intramuscular injection was 1/10 of a milligram per kilogram, or 297 milligrams in 5 milliliters of distilled water. Since the animal weighed an estimated 7,000 pounds, or 3,100 kilograms. If the elephant's sensitivity were of the order of that of a human being, this would represent a considerable overdose. However, if the elephant's dose requirements in the milligram per kilogram were similar to those of other animals, including primates and cats, such a dose would at best be of borderline effectiveness. Since the massive doses of I don't really know what this word is, succinylcholine have been used by one of us, William, what is this fucking name? WDT. Warren D. Thomas. Yeah. in attempts to destroy elephants in the field.
Why?
Okay.
Why was this an objective?
I'm trying to destroy them in the field. I want to point out that when we initially read about this experiment existing, we sort of like we posited that he just like jumped the fence at the zoo.
Yeah,
with a syringe full of acid.
I mean that's the urban legend on it.
Yeah. This is really hard for me. I'm sorry.
This is one of his classics. This is definitely one of his classics.
The whole attempt to destroy the elephant in the field is I don't know why that phrase sends me. And since even enormous doses, 20 milliliters of a saturated solution given intramuscularly, were found to require almost 30 minutes to produce a reaction, we considered that the elephant possessed substantial resistance to neurotropic agents and predicted that we were unlikely to see much reaction with this dosage of LSD. This is him covering his ass because he fucking killed it.
Yeah, he killed that. You killed it. Mr. West, you've killed our elephant.
You fucking killed our elephant. Have any idea how much an elephant costs in 1962?
You just grow elephants on trees. We got to go all the way to India. Get another one.
Early in the morning of the day for administering the control, the 2nd of August, 1962, Tusco received 1.5 million units of benzathine penicillin G as a control or placebo injection, which would also protect him from infection. The medication was injected into the gluteal mucus muscles by a cartridge syringe fired from a rifle powered by compressed CO2. The elephant's immediate startle response to the injection and his subsequent 2 or 3 minutes of restlessness, followed by normal behavior throughout the day, were recorded on motion picture film and noted by observers. Oh boy, does a video exist? Okay. The procedures employed on the control day were devised to document behavior with which Tusco's response to the next day's experimental situation, could be compared. At 8 a.m. on the second or experimental day, the LSD was similarly injected. Tusco began trumpeting and rushing around the pen, a reaction not unlike the one he had shown the day before. However, this time his restlessness appeared to increase for 3 minutes after the injection, and he stopped running and showed signs of marked incoordination. His mate, Judy, a 15-year-old female, approached him and appeared to attempt to support him. Well, that's fucking sad.
Oh my God. They didn't. Oh no.
He began to sway, his hindquarters buckled, and it became increasingly difficult for him to maintain himself upright. 5 minutes after the injection, he trumpeted, collapsed, fell heavily onto his right side, defecated, went into status epilepticus. It had a fucking massive seizure. Can you imagine a adult male elephant having a seizure? The limbs on the left side were hyperextended and held stiffly out from the body. The limbs on the right side were drawn up in partial flexion. There were tremors throughout. The eyes were closed and showed a spasm of orbicularis oculi. The eyeballs were turned sharply to the left, which markedly dilated pupils. The mouth was open, but breathing was extremely labored and strenuous, giving the impression of a high respiratory obstruction due to laryngeal spasms. The tongue, which had been bitten, was cyanotic. The picture was that of a tonic left side seizure in which mild clonic movements were present. At 8:20 a.m., Promazine hydrochloride was administered intravenously to the ear in an attempt to alleviate the animal's marked spastic reaction. Over a period of 11 minutes, 2,800 milligrams were given. The violence of the tonic aspect of the seizure appeared to be relieved partially by these measures, and respiration improved. However, over the next hour, the picture changed very little. Abdominal tympany developed. Despite a last-minute effort to save the animal with an intravenous injection of phenobarbital sodium, or pentobarbital sodium, he died 1 hour and 40 minutes after the LSD had been injected.
But he screws his own experiment up, because I mean, they at the time they thought barbiturates would counteract the effects of LSD, which they absolutely don't. Like chances are you just created a drug interaction. It's actually what killed the elephant.
Interesting. A necropsy confirmed the impression of death by strangulation secondary to laryngeal spasm. Tusko's sexual maturity, previously suggested by the observation of his copulatory behavior with a receptive female, and by the report of his prior episode of going on must, was confirmed at necropsy by finding of adult testes with well-developed spermatozoic elements, which is the picture above, his nuts and giant elephant sperm. Let's see. Numerous mature sperm. Blood samples were collected from cerebral veins and from the heart at the vena cava. Serum sodium and was in range that is normal for human beings, but potassium was high. The pericardial fluid contains sodium and potassium, but no seroplastin, whatever that means.
I don't know what that is either.
Unfortunately, clear cerebrospinal fluid was not obtained. The brain content of the serum ceruloplasmin was substantially lower than the heart content. Both values are higher than the normal values for human beings. Well, why are we not comparing them to the normal values for elephants? Immediate dissection of the temporal gland revealed no characteristic dark brown fluid in the duct. However, the microscopic structure of the temporal gland is unique to our knowledge and to that of several individuals whom we consulted. Of great interest is the finding that two distinct types of cells are present, supporting the possibility the gland may function as both an exocrine and endocrine organ, which would possibly validate his hypothesis.
His hypothesis.
It is known that the individual differences in reaction to drugs exist among elephants as among humans. Even so, the elephant's rapid collapse and death are remarkable. It's possible, but unlikely, that the LSD was delivered intravenously with injection of the type used. It is not possible to take the usual precautions, but the instantaneous explosive injection would probably collapse a vein. The possibility of anaphylactic shock seems remote, since the picture was not truly characteristic of anaphylaxis, and it would be difficult to postulate the basis for sensitization. However, since Tusko's former owner reported one instance of his having gone on must, auto-sensitization cannot be completely ruled out. This would imply, of course, a close biochemical similarity between LSD and the unknown but perhaps potent intoxicant in the must secretion. Sensitization on any other basis seems highly improbable. That is a wild thing to suggest, that maybe the thing that maybe elephants have a gland that produces endogenous LSD. But okay. It is also possible that the LSD was not widely distributed throughout the elephant's body, but was somehow rapidly concentrated in the nervous system. If such was the case, the calculation of LSD dosage on the basis of milligrams per kilogram of total body weight would be inappropriate, and some other criterion, such as brain size, should be considered.
He's just bullshitting here. He has no idea what he's talking about.
It's like, I don't know why I killed the elephant.
There's no
Probably just should have started at a way lower dose. Let's see. The brain of the mature elephant is about 3 to 4 times the size of a man's. Tusko's brain weighed 3,700 grams. as compared with 1,300 grams for that of the average adult human male. Other specimens and other dosages must be studied to clarify these issues. Our current prediction and conclusions are these. 1, a chemically induced pseudo-must will not cause the temporal gland to secrete, but a natural internal secretion of the gland does play a causative role in precipitating the male elephant's madness. Chemically, this secretion may well resemble LSD or other known biologically active psychomimetic substances. And 3, a male elephant whose temporal glands had been surgically removed early in life might grow up to be a sexually capable but behaviorally intractable animal, one that never went on must. It appeared okay, but I just feel like we could have tested that in a lot of different ways, right?
Yeah.
Like you could have just like found an elephant that was under that condition and collected the gland secretion, right? You could have tranquilized the elephant and gotten the gland secretion.
Like I said, it was bullshit. He's killed an elephant and has to figure out why.
Yeah, exactly. It has to justify to his grant funders why this should not be the last experiment that they fund.
And in fact, to the good people of Oklahoma City, who's now are down in
elephant-less,
and let's not forget.
Let's not forget Judy.
Yeah, that's literally
Mrs. Tusco.
Yeah.
She probably had an enormous fetus inside of her because we knew that he was sexually active. This was young love. This was teenage love. Can you imagine watching your first boyfriend collapse in front of you, have a seizure, shit himself, and die? Right? You gave your giant elephant cherry to this man.
Average e-girl experience.
Average e-girl experience. This is what it's like to date Christopher Sandbatch, ladies.
I've never died. I
have done the seizure thing.
Yeah.
I have gone on must.
Yeah. You can make it sound like it's like a thing that happens.
It's a thing that happens.
It's like it's going on walkabout or whatever.
I've gone on must.
Yeah.
Rumspringa, but for elephants. It appears that the elephant is highly sensitive to the effects of LSD. You think? A finding which may prove to be valuable in elephant control work in Africa. The death of Tusco suggests the nature of the danger and the most likely cause of death should be a lethal dose. The most likely cause of death should a overdose be taken by a human. Despite efforts by its manufacturer to prevent misuse of the drug, LSD has been increasingly and sometimes irresponsibly administered to humans as a putative adjunct to psychotherapy. The possibility of suicide or even homicide by LSD cannot be ignored. Wow. He is not cautioning. He's like, this is an area for future research.
Yeah, this is literally what he's doing. I mean, this was towards the tail end of LSD as a research, but it's not that close to the end. Like there's still quite a bit of it that's about to happen,
The treatment of an individual in extremis from LSD poisoning would be symptomatic, but a possible emergency requirement for anticonvulsant medication and for muscle relaxants such as succinylcholine is suggested from the results of this single experiment. Signed Louis Jolyon West, Chester M. Pierce, and Warren D. Thomas of the Lincoln Park Zoo. Oh boy. That is and that is the entire justification for him killing that elephant. That's it. How do you feel about that?
I did not know about Mrs. Tusco. That's the
Wendy did leave out Mrs. Tusco.
Yeah.
Judy,
everybody does.
I feel really bad for Judy. Say her name. Judy the elephant.
We're not
Judy,
talk
Mrs.
about Judy.
Tusco the elephant. You know what?
Yeah.
I want to look up. I want to know
This is
what
like
happened to Judy.
this is a buried David Lynch reference. When David Bowie says we're not going to talk about Judy, he's actually referring to the elephant.
To Judy. Yeah, what happened to Judy the elephant from Lincoln Park Zoo? Let's see. Judy the elephant died in 1971 at the Lincoln Park Zoo in Chicago. She was an Asian elephant who had walked 18 miles from the Brookfield Zoo to her home in Lincoln Park in 1943 after refusing to travel by truck. After her death, they discontinued the elephant exhibit. Let's see. Wait, this doesn't seem to be. This is the wrong one. Hold on. This is the Lincoln Park Zoo in Chicago. Sorry.
We're waiting on it.
Wow.
We're waiting.
Judy, the beloved elephant and a beloved figure of the Oklahoma City Zoo, passed away in 1997.
Yeah.
At the age of 52 due to cancer. Tragic. Judy,
Tragic.
I wish you were a survivor. Imagine how bad breast cancer is for an elephant.
Yeah.
Giant tits. Her arrival was funded by donations from school children across Oklahoma. A memorial exists for her at the zoo. And
Nice.
after her death, the zoo discontinued.
That's it? The zoo
discontinued. No, discontinued the elephant exhibit.
Oh, that's like the zoo folds.
The zoo fold is like that was it.
Yeah.
That was it.
Just waiting on Judy to die.
Hold on. Did Judy have children?
Uh-oh.
Didn't have any children. She never accepted a mate after Tusco died.
Damn.
What the fuck? Louis Jolly on West, you son of a bitch. What the fuck? He traumatized Judy so bad that he ended the genetic line of her and Tusco. What the fuck? I can't believe it. That he can't keep getting away with it. How does he keep getting away with it? Yeah, I don't know, man. Let's see. John Ewald sends a $3 super sticker. It is a little lemon man doing a Roman salute. I can't believe that they allow that on YouTube. That's amazing. That's amazing. You can't see it. You can't see it unless you're watching the chat replay on YouTube. But thank you, John. All right. Well, unfortunately, I thought that article was a little longer. I thought that was going to take us some more time. We have like a full hour left. Sandbatch.
Yeah.
What do you want to do?
We could call it early.
I think we might have to call it early, unfortunately.
We'll be back next bat. Same bat time, same bat network with a new book.
It'll be a new book. I'm not going to tell you what the book is going to be. I'm going to keep it a secret.
He might not even tell me.
I might not even know yet, but who knows? Who knows? It's going to be good, whatever it is. Actually, you know what? I have a few that are already downloaded and kind of in the chamber. We're going to spin the cylinder and see which one comes out of the barrel. Aren't you excited?
Yeah, always.
So, all right. Also, there's going to be there is going to be a new intro. I think we'll see if it's done in time. I'll have to chain Mike of Pull to the radiator to make sure. Oh God. Penultimate Justin Moan's manifesto is it's actually like too short. It's super short.
Just as a fact here, Clothington has shared a graphic with pictures of the different countries that have aircraft carriers and the number. And I'm blown away by the fact that Japan has 4, which is significantly more than Russia's 1. I look at Egypt has more aircraft
4
carriers
times as
than
many.
Russia. Yeah, Egypt has more carriers than Russia. What the hell is going on?
Why would Russia even need an aircraft carrier?
I don't know. They love to trot that thing out. Like they talk about it sometimes. I didn't realize they only had the 1.
And it is pretty cool. Japan should totally go back to the wooden decks on the aircraft carriers. Those looked fucking cool.
They're super aesthetic. That was true.
Does it bother you at all that does it bother you at all that the Chinese ones are just a direct copy of the American ones? The more things change, huh?
The more I look at this, the more I think, wait a minute.
Yeah, exactly.
The next time I'll get rid of the Columbo voice, like the Columbo voice it's been it's been featured in the Eric Wilson segment, and that's it.
I think probably like per capita, who's the one with the most aircraft carriers per capita?
It's definitely us.
Probably like Thailand.
Yeah.
Or Korea. It's probably Korea, actually.
Yeah, it's got to be Korea.
It's got to be Korea. Huh. All right. Well, we are going to call it then. And we'll see you next time. So check us out. Give Clossington a little like there. Just a little boop, boop. Our buddy Clossington.
I just did a show with him where I actually I read John C. Calhoun out loud alive. I mean, it was actually like in terms of like 1 or 2 one-off episodes, maybe the best one I ever did, and it's
nice.
Yeah, he'll have it linked somewhere.
We'll go check that out. Clossington probably has it posted. You can find him at Choosing Stone 1. He's got a weird at. Anyway, search for him on x.com, formerly Twitter. And we will see you next time. Same bat time, same bat channel, different bat book. See ya.
You're discouraged from questioning and thinking critically. You must accept the word of the leaders. They make you feel guilty if you do question or argue. Your environment is often controlled, cutting you off from friends, family, school, previously held beliefs. They want you to become dependent, provide a poor diet, poor health care, little sleep, and long exhausting hours of work to make you physically weak and lower your ability to think clearly. Subtly, your self-confidence gets undermined, and your self-image or sense of identity is changed. The leaders control channels of communication. They cut off or put down outside sources of information. Then they bombard you with what they want you to think. They use strong peer pressure, playing on your desire to be loved and accepted. The leaders may promise rewards if you obey them and punishment if you don't, but they alternate harshness and leniency in order to confuse you. The leaders manipulate language, giving special meanings to words that only insiders understand. This is to make you feel like you're part of a special, important, or elite group, and that outsiders are inferior, dangerous, or doomed. You have to confess your shortcomings, mistakes, or misbehavior, sometimes even if these things never really happened. And meanwhile, your time and activities are tightly controlled. You don't have much privacy or energy or time to think because you're too busy doing monotonous, repetitive tasks. The leaders try to control you and even your sexuality, everything about you. They want to exploit you for their own enrichment, their own power or grandiosity. If they succeed, you will declare your loyalty to its leaders, rejecting your old values and way of life. Without realizing it, you will have been changed into a person who is being controlled by a totalist cult.